Welcome back. A Boodle named Calvin is helping other dogs by making children happy.
And you can help as well. To explain how this all works, Leighton and Millie Rockafellow and Calvin himself join us this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, this is so great. I want to start out by talking about what is a Boodle exactly, and how did Calvin come into your lives?
Well, I'll answer that. Calvin, I saw Calvin at the Humane Society store at Park Mall. And I looked at him and they said, oh, he's a Bichon Poodle mix. And I said, oh, he's a Boodle. Calvin the Boodle. So he's our Boodle boy.
I love it. Oh, and so you adopted him.
Yes.
And he's actually kind of a little famous because he's in a book. And how did you guys go from having a wonderful dog to actually making a book about him?
Well, Millie loves dogs,
Yeah.
and of course I do too, but when she brought Calvin home, we just immediately felt this urge to tell the world about how wonderful adoption dogs can be. And Millie says, you know, let's tell a story about Calvin and where he came from, how he came to be at the Humane Society, and how he ended up with us. And we thought, yeah, that's a good idea, so we'll do that. And it was really fun. It was a good project for the whole family.
It was a good family project. My niece is the illustrator. She's a comic illustrator, and she did all of the illustrations. And then our daughter edited the book for us, because that's her business in LA. And so it just worked out really well. Everybody was on board, and we had a great time.
It was a true family project. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think that's
And our daughter-in-law is a photographer, so she took the picture on the back.
Well, way too much talent in one family. But we're so glad you've come together to make this amazing book. Now, you know we're huge fans of the Humane Society on our show. We have them on every week. But what is really the goal of this book? What's the mission that you're trying to accomplish?
Well, the mission is to awareness, and it's to tell your viewers that, and everyone, that if you're considering getting an animal, a dog, cat, any pet, consider going to rescue agencies. And the Humane Society of Southern Arizona is a very, very well-worth agency. They do a lot of work. The volunteers are amazing. And so we wanted people to be aware of how rescue dogs make the greatest pets.
And they do. They're wonderful. I truly believe they know. I think they know.
Yeah.
And they're very grateful, and they're such good dogs. All of our dogs are rescues. And they're all great dogs.
Calvin, who is that?
Calvin's looking at himself.
Yes. So on top of the fact that you have made these books and you want people to read and to know, and the kids probably love these books, you guys are also giving back to the Humane Society through this, right?
Yes. The sale of the book, we've borne all the cost of printing and everything. And when we sell a book, the money goes to the Humane Society. And
all of the proceeds.
Millie was an elementary school teacher, and she's gone to several first grade classes, and she's read the book and brings the dog, and of course the kids love that, and it's a good experience for them. And it's a good experience for Calvin and for Millie.
Oh, I think that's so great. Well, I love that Calvin loves seeing himself on TV. But is it true that Calvin's actually trademarked as well?
He is trademarked. Yeah, that's a friend of mine in Texas is a trademark lawyer, and we worked through a process. It's a long process. I learned a lot. But he is trademarked, so that if this really catches on and becomes a nationwide thing, you know, we can get all the benefits of this, and the various humane societies throughout the United States can benefit from it. Right. So
because we already had the first book, but we're already on to a second book.
Yes.
We have a second book.
So we have, that's the first one. This one's the second one, goes to
Calvin the
school.
Boodle goes to school.
So what is his adventure in the first one versus adventure in the second one?
Well, the first story is told through Calvin's eyes.
Okay.
And it's a story of how I went to the Humane Society store and saw this dog, but unfortunately we were leaving for 2 weeks to go on vacation, and I looked at him and I looked in his eyes and I said, Calvin, if you're still here when I get back, we'll bring you home. So the story is about Calvin waiting, and also families coming and walking him through the mall, and he was okay with it when they didn't take him because he was waiting for Millie.
And then the second book is training the dog so that he's got some manners and is easier to live with. And I think we've probably took a little license with how trained he is, because he probably isn't quite as trained as the book would have you think, but he's still a good dog.
He's a good dog.
And are we hoping for more adventures later on, more books?
Oh yes, we have. Our son-in-law has an idea. He's thinking about Calvin Saves Christmas, and I've got an idea for Calvin Goes on Vacation.
That's so funny.
And, we'll try to, we're thinking about Calvin mugs and Calvin, well, we had a Calvin t-shirt. I don't know where it is.
All right, well, bring us some Calvin shirts when you come back.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Well, I'm going to remind everybody where they can get the book and, of course, how they can get a hold of the Humane Society to get their own Calvin for their own home. So I want to thank you both so much for what you've done for the Humane Society
Thank
and
you.
for Calvin.
Thank you.
Thank
Now,
you
to
for having us.
absolutely, to get the book, you can search for it on Amazon.com. And for more information about the Humane Society, give them a call at 327-6088 or log on to hssaz.org.